Channel. I'm here with Denzel Rodriguez. He's a longtime friend of mine, client of mine, kingdom man, and I want to bring him on the channel today to talk about how he went from, lost his job, just starting his business, to now he has a seven-figure personal financial coaching business. He's a velocity banking YouTuber. He has millions of views on YouTube, and so just want to give you a quick bio. But Denzel, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, bro. This is awesome. I'm happy to do this with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so I think a lot of the time people look at someone like you or me or anybody else on YouTube and they look at the end result, they look at the end outcome and think, okay, how can I get there with as little work as possible? Which I understand people want shortcuts, but I want them to see what it took for you to build the business you have and build the life that you have, because it didn't happen overnight. It took how many years? 6 years you've been in business?
Been in business, 6 years now. From 2018. Now it's 2024. So happy New Year to those that are watching.
Yeah. Happy New Year. And so
Yeah,
6 years in business, but I want to have people understand the reality of going back 6 years ago and helping them see what it took to get from there to where you are now in your business. And so if you could just share how you even kind of started this business, how you came across this idea, and where were you at in, like, financially, where was your life at when you started this business?
yeah, absolutely. And I love talking about this too on my channel. I go deep with my clients on this because there is that element that we live in society where we want everything fast, and even the gurus, even people like myself, I'll put myself out there, like, we want to speed things up. We want to avoid mistakes that other entrepreneurs have made that will shorten the learning curve, but there's still that process that still needs to happen in each and every one of us that want to become business owners, that want to become entrepreneurs, and there is no rushing that. So we can shorten our learning curve of a particular financial strategy or marketing strategy or a sales tactic, right? We can pick up things, but there's still the work that needs to work on us. And there's no telling how long that's really going to take. It's based on so many different factors, personally, physically, emotionally, all the different things. Now, for me, just to get started, right? So I got started with the YouTube channel, with the coaching business, finance in 2018, but we actually have to go back, rewind
Mm-hmm.
to 2014, which is when I graduated high school and I got my first sales job selling kitchen cutlery knives.
Mm-hmm.
That is where I learned the current skills that I use today in regards to how to get referrals, how to get leads, how to generate prospects, how to pick up the phone, dial, call, hi, my name is, and not say someone else's name. Like, I've said the person's name when I call. So I'm like, if I want to call Alex, right, I call you. I'm like, hi, my name is Alex. I'm sorry. My name's Denzel. I'm looking to get a hold of Alex.
Right.
Is that Alex? Is this Alex? You've already hung up by then, right? You're like,
Mm.
what the heck just happened? So getting through those initial skill sets, that started in early 2014, right? So from 2014 to 2018, we're talking about a 4-year journey just to discover what it is that I wanted to do or what it is that I was good at. I didn't know what I was good at. 18 years old, just graduating high school, didn't get into college, didn't want to go to the military. And I was like, okay, I got to figure this out on my own. So doing different jobs and then trying to build a business on the side, in and out of different kinds of sales companies, network marketing companies, multi-level marketing companies, direct sales companies, you name it, to then finally discovering the concepts that I teach today. And really the way I came about that was how you, the viewer right now, are watching us. Like, I just went on YouTube and went down the personal development rabbit hole, the sales and marketing and personal branding rabbit hole, and then found finance. And I've always had a good skill, I would say, when it comes to math. I was always pretty good at math in school. But then when it came to personal finances, like from a very, very young age, the first time I received money that I remember, I think I was like maybe 4 or 5 years old, was like my earliest memories of my birthday, and getting like $1, $2, a couple quarters. And the very first things I ever did with money was save it. So that was like a skill that I now know today is a legit skill. Saving money is a skill, because I know 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds that don't know how to save, or they know how to save but don't do it, or they want to save but have 50 excuses why they can't save money. So it's like, wait a minute, this is like a legit skill, just saving money, right? And then from saving money, then it became credit, building credit. Then it became paying off debt. And little did I know that these skills would make me millions of dollars in the years to come. Little did I know. But I honed in on those skills. I kept watching material, watching content, just like you guys are watching Alex and myself. And boom, 2018, I got the idea from other people as well, because I was working on building skills. I was allowing the work to work on me. And never in that process was I, quote unquote, money hungry or trying to chase money. Really, when I got out of high school, yes, for sure, I wanted to make money. And
you were
still
slinging knives all over the place. You were
I'm
going door
like,
to
hey,
door.
here's the best
Give me
knives
a
in the world.
pineapple. Let me show you what this can do.
I was like, give me your most frozen steak or chicken, and I'm gonna cut right through it.
Yeah.
Right. And we would do that, and it was pretty fun. But all in all, allowing the work to work on you while building those skills and becoming aware of yourself, of the different skills that you're picking up, allowing people, especially positive people, getting around strangers, I would say, is usually the best, because strangers have no incentive to really lie to you, right? A family member has an incentive to lie to you, right? Your mom, your dad, they have an incentive to lie to you, right? What I mean by that is like when they say that, you can grow up and be whatever you want to be, right? The incentive there is that I will love my parents more because you're encouraging me, you're building me up. But without a dose of reality or logic, or saying, maybe not everything. I don't know if being an NFL player is in your trajectory. I don't know if, being a basketball player, you really don't have the height. I would look at these different things, like being very, very realistic. So when you get around strangers, especially business men and women, strangers, they have no incentive to lie to you. They have all the incentive to tell you the truth, because it might incentivize them long term. You might be a potential client for them. So the more open, honest, and transparent that business owner is with you, that really helps you become even more aware of how you're presenting yourself, your impressions, your skills, things like that. You were one of those people that impressed upon me that I could start a YouTube channel and make videos and educate people. You, along with quite a few other people, would constantly say, hey, you got a good voice. You should maybe do radio one day. Like everyone else said radio, but it was really you, I think, that really honed in on YouTube, like creating content. So that was in 2018. And then fast forward to today, like as you said, generated over 7 figures, and consistently from 2019 to 2023, I've generated multiple 6 figures each year, right? So over the 5-6 year period has been multiple 7 figures, but as a business owner, year to year, I do multiple 6 figures, usually like 3, almost 400,000 a year.
That's great. And so here's the thing. A lot of people watching this, they also have a passion. They also have a skill and expertise that they want to share with the world. But I'm sure you're watching this right now and you're like, that's me, but I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. And so if you can give someone advice, because, back in 2018, I think you had lost your job or you were transitioning.
Correct.
and you're at a spot where you had to make this business work. There was no other option. You needed to invest into it with your finances, with your time, with your even just emotions. Like, this is going to work. But for that person watching that feels like they're stuck, how can they get unstuck, especially it's the new year, and make this year the year of action? If, let's say they want to start a business or a channel like you, what's the best piece of advice you would give them?
For those of you that are already in it, you're watching the material, you're watching others, and you're like, okay, this could be me. I think I can do this. I'm preparing myself. You're procrastinating, but you're still in it. You want to do this. I think there's an element for certain people that need some kind of a push that really backs you up against the wall, where you're like, I have nowhere else to go but forward, right? Some people need that. For me, that was me getting fired at my secure job, where I was making a certain amount of money to be able to cover my bills, have a little cash flow to save and pay off debt and build my credit slowly, right? It was a slow approach. It was safe. It was comfortable. It did take a majority of my time from the business, but that risk of someone saying leaving your job, like as a financial coach, consultant, strategist, I'm never going to tell anyone to leave their job or quit their job. But there is that element where it's like, you need something to happen in your life in order for you to actually do what it is you want to do, because you're too lazy to do it, or you're a procrastinator, or you're scared, so much fear behind actually doing it. Others need someone to say something. I had both. I needed something to happen, and I needed someone to say something to me, to speak into my life. So I think those are the two elements that you're going to need. If you know you're that person, and you look at your past, look at your history, and you look at pivotal moments in your life when you took massive action, or you felt like a hero, or you really conquered the day, or you're very victorious over a particular thing. What happened prior to that? Did someone speak in your ear in a negative way that drove you through a wall to want to like hit that particular goal? Was it a bully? Or was it someone influential in your life, like a mom or a dad or a mentor that spoke positive things into your life, but then they hit you with a gut punch and you went and did it? Or were you backed up against a wall? Some traumatic event happened in your life, a car crash, a death in the family, a divorce, right? A breakup, someone broke your heart. And then from there, you finally started going to the gym, started working out, and you had your glow up, right? It happens in all different aspects. That translates very well into business, very, very well. So I would say that is super important. That needs to happen. Either someone, something, maybe both. For me, it was both. Those two elements together, rub that together, and threw a whole business plan together. From there, it's not about the how, the what, the when, the where. It is all about why. You start with why, right? And everything else will fall into place. But there's someone or something that probably needs to push you. I don't know what that is, but for me, it was losing my job, being backed up against the wall, and then someone, you along with others, speaking a good word into my life and really motivating me. And then I was like, okay, well, I have to do this now, or else I got to go drive Uber and Lyft.
Literally.
Right? Or
the last
get another
podcast
job.
that you and I did on my channel, that was like 2019. You were literally talking about, I might need to do Uber. We'll see. And then that's when the channel started to really grow. And so you can watch that interview.
Camera, right? That was off camera. I think I said that.
But that was, I remember that was the last time you were on my channel. And after the podcast, that's what you and I were discussing. And look at us now. I mean, you just closed on a beautiful house in South Florida. And so it's funny how time flies. But I like how you mentioned secure, because a lot of people feel like, oh, I have my job, my career. Like, I don't want to leave that. It's like you're saying, secure, safe, and they're in their comfort zone. But if you look at it from a different perspective, if you have a business and that business has one revenue stream, that's extremely risky.
Yeah.
Because now you have one, let's say, one customer base, one way of your business making money. You are a business, whether you have a job or an actual business. So as a, let's say, W-2 employee, you have one revenue source, one customer. And if they go bankrupt, if they do layoffs, if they go out of business, now you're out of business.
You're
and
done.
So it's funny how once you think of it like that, having a job is extremely risky because you have one income source, whereas with a business, you can have 100 clients. So if you lose a client, it's like, oh, I lost 5% of my revenue, 10% of my revenue, maybe less than 1% of your revenue. And so if you look at it like that, it's less risky to have your own business because you can control your income.
You absolutely can. I mean, I've experienced this as a young adult, where I'm becoming more and more mature over the years. And, when I look at, say, for example, 2020, the year of COVID was my highest revenue year, right? Nearly did $500,000 in revenue. The very next year, I dropped all the way down to 332,000 in revenue. So I went from like 464 down to 332. Now, you could say, okay, you lost like 20% or whatever the number was of your income dropped, right? But I was still able to control the environment more than if I was making that at a job, right? Typically, that results in half of your income getting removed or layoff, or there's the contract's ended, this company's going down under. You're able to put yourself in a more controllable situation. Now, I also want to say that no one becomes an entrepreneur or business owner because they want less risk in their life. Like it's going to increase. Like being a business owner and entrepreneur it has its risky elements, but there's still this freedom of control, freedom of being mobile where you want to go and having authority over your life that a job or career just simply cannot provide. It's more of an illusion. And not to put down having a career or a job. I know plenty of people that love their career, they love their jobs, they love what they do, but they also know they can't do it forever. So they have to eventually create something outside of that, whether it's becoming an owner or equity partner in that company. That's cool. That's a good alternative. Or building some kind of other streams of income along the way that when they eventually do transition, they're not guessing, what's my retirement look like now, right? So I would say that.
Absolutely. No, I agree. Entrepreneurship is risky, but I think for the right type of, let's say, person with the right mindset, with the right approach, they love having that control over their outcome. Whether or not a business is successful or not, at least you did your best and you had control over the outcome. I know a lot of people in their jobs that, especially corporate America, there's a very structured process to getting promoted, to getting raises, to where they could be working 60 hours a week grinding. Their counterparty, their colleague, can be working 25 hours a week. They're a bum. They always call out sick, but they get paid the same. And their track to growth is the same. So a lot of people that want to grow, that are hungry, they hate that environment because it's designed to say, hey, you're just a number. You're one of all these different people. You're just a sheep, and you're going to grow at the same pace as everybody else. And entrepreneurship, there's no cap. There's no limit to how fast you can grow, how much you can grow. It's completely up to you. But I tell people all the time, you want to compress decades into, I call it months, but let's say compress decades into years, because a lot of the time, just like you and I, you can go at it alone. You can try it on your own. You can figure out the nuances. But the way to get that good judgment is through experience, and you get experience through bad judgment. Isn't that kind of funny how the only way to grow on your own is to experience, to make mistakes? But I know the best entrepreneurs, my best clients, they learn from my mistake. They learn from my other clients' mistakes. And so if you're looking to start a business, you need to find some type of mentor, coach, consultant, someone that can say, hey, here's the game plan step by step to get you where you're at now to where you want to be. And you're going to do it a lot faster with a lot less pain. Denzel and I, we met when we were both starting out. And so we went through a lot of pain, a lot of mistakes made. And the biggest cost is opportunity cost. I mean, if I knew what I know right now, 5, 6 years ago, Denzel and I would be, making tens of millions of dollars, not millions. And so really, like, the numbers would be that much different. So I think that's the biggest thing, is that you don't have to go at it alone, because if you're going at it alone, there's so much uncertainty, and that uncertainty leads to fear of failure, and that leads to inaction. And so that's why people work with Denzel on their finances. They need that strategy, that game plan from someone who obviously has a successful model.
Yeah, and let's see. What's really hitting on my heart, just touching on this overall theme of mindset, getting started, is you're gonna have, in order to be that person that you want to become, you're getting an insight by, say, watching an Alex, or watching myself, or watching a Patrick Bet-David or Alex Ramosi or Grant Cardone. Like, you're getting an insight of what you could potentially look like certain models. Like, okay, I like the way he lives his life. I like the way he dresses. I like the way she does this. I like the way his approach is for this. And you're pulling these different things, and you're creating this identity of this great person that you want to become, that requires certain skills to get there. And in order to get there and quote unquote be great, you're going to have to shoot 1,000, 10,000 free throws.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to miss a lot of shots. You're going to have to make your own mistakes. Sure, we can avoid as many pitfalls as possible, avoid as many traps as possible, but you're actually going to create problems that you solve for. And in those problems that you're solving for, you identify problems for yourself that you're going to need solutions for. And there's going to be mistakes made, because you're going to be, okay, let me try to figure this out. So you try to figure it out, you mess up, or you say this wrong, or you don't account for this, or you drop the ball with a client, you lose a client here. And then, as you mentioned, through mentorship and coaching, they can only help you avoid so many mistakes. But I think the best way to fail is fail forward, make those mistakes as quickly as possible, because the opportunity cost is vast. As you mentioned, had we known what we know now 6 years ago, you and I probably be multi-millionaires, right? And the fact that we started anyways, right? Because you don't even have to count the opportunity costs if you start. And as long as you don't quit, you'll never lose, because the race is you. You're racing against yourself. So don't even worry about really the opportunity cost once you've got started.
Right.
The opportunity cost applies when you're not getting started. You're like, all this money being left on the table, all this, take away the money, all this growth potential, all this opportunity to be the best father, best husband, best wife, best daughter, best son, best friend, best brother, best sister, best business owner, best leader, right? Best pastor, best motivator, influencer, best content creator. That is all on the table, and it's all for you. And what's wild is really only 1% of the population ever actually go for it. Less than 1% of the population actually ever go for it. Right? So even if you failed miserably in the process, you can still end up somewhere in the top 3 to 5% of the population. Even if you fail miserably, like let's say your goal was to make $10 million. You fail miserably and you only make $1 million, but you were starting at $50,000 a year, right. $70,000 a year, average American income. If I'm not mistaken, by the time you hit 6 figures, you're already in the top 10% of income earners in America, the most powerful nation in the world, the most powerful country in the world, the richest country in the world. You're in the top 10%. You just make 6 figures and upwards. You get to 7 figures, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you're in the top 3% or lower, like top 2, 3, maybe even 1%. right? So it's like you set the goal for 10 million, you fail miserably, you only make 1 mil, and you consistently do that, consistently grow. And if you maintain, this is my financial coaching turning on, maintain your lifestyle.
Right.
Don't buy other people's identities. Build your own. Keep building your own up, right? Keep shopping where you were shopping at when you were making 50, 60, 70 grand a year. If it was Marshall's, if it was Ross, if it was Payless, if it was Macy's, stay there. Don't go to Nordstrom. Don't go to Prada, Coach, Gucci, Louis. Stay away from those. Stay away from the Mercedes and the BMW and the Lexus. Keep driving your Honda Civic. Keep driving the Ford Focus. Keep driving the Chevy Equinox. Okay, like stay there for at least the next 5-10 years. It's crazy, bro. You know this. Like you've lived this way. Like no one could tell how much money you make when you walk out of your house. Nobody cares. This is all on you, right? You're the one. You have to live with yourself, sleep at night. So you might as well go all in on personally developing yourself to acquire those skills that you need to become great. And the faster you start, the better. And I'm going to throw Christy Van in here as an example of those people that are like, well, Alex, you're in your 20s, and Denzel, you're in your early 20s. You're young. You know, you guys are in the you guys grew up around this social media and stuff. I said, okay, I got one for you. Look up Christy Van. Fantastic finances. Look her up. Over the age of 50, has had many trials and tribulations in her life, many, many, many fears. She's got a YouTube channel that's more than ours, Alex and mine put together
times like 3 now.
Times 3, yeah, times 3 or 4 even.
She started 12 months ago with me.
Started 12 months ago. It's 2024. She started in early 2023 or like end of 22.
End of 2022. Yeah, so like 12, 13 months. Yeah.
She's got well over 150,000 plus subscribers. This is a grown woman that has an accent that was in fear of her accent, afraid of it, worried that people would think she was either dumb or I mean, she had all these self-limiting beliefs. She started. She just hit the red button on her phone. She started with her phone. You can go back and you can go to her channel. You scroll all the way down to the very first video she posted, and you're going to be like, what? Audio is, not that great. The lighting's not that great. The visual is not, oh my God. But it's getting thousands, if not millions of views.
In December, she had 2 million views. In December of 2020. Right? No, in her channel as a whole. Totally, yeah. But no, one video in itself got from 0 to 400,000 views. And that was maybe like 10 days ago. And so, yeah, right now she's at 178,000 subscribers.
178,000.
Insane.
I think there's one video I saw that has over 2 million views.
Yeah.
So she went viral in an area of finance that is so unheard of, so foreign, and just dominating.
She's 52 years old. She even says it in her testimonial about working with me. And she's like, I was 51 years old. Like, I didn't expect any of this. And like Denzel said,
it shows that young men to help her.
Right. And so it just shows that it doesn't really matter what age you are, but she took action. She stayed consistent over a long period of time. And I'll end on this. It's like going to the gym. People will never expect to get a 6-pack if they go to the gym for a month and that's it.
Yeah. I don't know why we make that. I don't know why
it's like the whole, like you said earlier, it's the whole like instant ramen, society. It's like, I want it right now. Instant gratification. Like, give it to me. Give me 1 million subscribers and let me do it easily and not consistently for a long period of time. So again, it's just like building muscle, building your wealth, building your business. It takes a consistent period of time. I've been doing it since 2016, 2017. You've been doing it since 2018. And now we're just really entering our prime. And who knows, maybe not even our prime, but no, Denzel, just want to end it there. How can people find you?
YouTube's the best place. Denzel Napoleon Rodriguez is named my channel. Denzel Rodriguez on all the other social media platforms. You can check out my work. I do case studies. I, review people's numbers. Alex is on my channel a bunch of times. We have some really cool, unique content together. So if you want to learn more about what he does on my channel as well, we've got some unique custom videos there that you can't find anywhere else, right? And we have a blast together. We love serving. We love to help. We don't do it for the money, although it is a result of our works, right? And the more we continue to serve, the more we continue to impact lives, transform people's lives, like Christy Van and many others in the space that you've been able to help, Alex, and then me with my clients on my YouTube channel. It's exciting, and we want more people to be a part of it. It can be a lonely journey when you decide to become an entrepreneur on your own, but just know that there is a community, right? And Alex, myself, we're part of that community, and we want to see others win because we know that there's literally no competition whatsoever. There's simply not enough leaders. There's not enough business owners, not enough entrepreneurs in the space. If you think social media is saturated, you are dead wrong. You are getting misinformed, fake news, whatever it is. Like, there's not enough creators on here. And I'll give Chrissy Van another shout out again. Like, she proved that. Like, getting into a space that's already niche and exploding it, bringing more people to it. There's more people getting on the internet every single day by a multiple of probably 100,000x compared to every new content creator starting a channel, starting a social media brand. So get on it, right? That's it. Get it started. Let's go.
Amen. Love it, Denzel. Awesome. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.